My name is John Cunningham, and believe it or not, I'm a member of the league. And I get to I get to share all those lovely women with the few other men that are members of the league. So I am also president of the Edwardsville NAACP, and we work with the league when we have these political or non-political forums to bring those that are running for candidacy to your presence, and we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to meet the candidates. And so without further ado, our moderator tonight is Rachel Tompkins. Won't you come up, please, ma'am?
Hello. Welcome to this Edwardsville area League of Women Voters Voter Services event. We are in conjunction or in partnership with the Edwardsville branch of the NAACP, as John just explained. The League of Women Voters is a national organization. As you can tell, it is not only women. It's an organization devoted to educating voters and to encouraging voting. The NAACP, likewise, with a mandate to advance and promote the well-being of people of color and their presence in our representative democracy, has a long history of promotion of informed voting. So we work together because we have the same aims. Democracy requires an educated and involved electorate. We are affiliated with no political party or candidate as an organization. Our members reflect a variety of personal political opinions, but we are mandated to provide fair and informative voter services event. Tonight's event is the meet and greet format. That means that each candidate presents him or herself to you from the podium. After the formal event, you're very welcome to direct any questions informally to any candidate. The three, races, I guess that would be correct. There is a school board. First, these candidates are all candidates for positions on our school board. There are also several city council candidates, aldermen, that will be up after this, and then the Hamel president position has 2 candidates. So in the school board, for a 2-year position, there are 3 candidates. You will vote for 2. I do have something written if you need that. For the 1 2-year position, John McDowell, Jennifer Brumback, Keisha Williams-Omatola are candidates. There is a 4-year position. Deborah Pitts is running unopposed for that. She's in the center there. And there is a 4-year position where Jill Birtles, Catherine Robertson, and Eric Levan, sorry? I swear I'd get it right. Levan is, the 3 are running and you vote for 2. So that's complicated, and I'll try to repeat that as I present the different candidates. Later we will have the alderman candidates and we will have the Hamel president candidates. During the brief break between different events, the concession stand in the lobby is open. Help yourself. Tonight's event will be videotaped and televised on our local cable station, Channel 993, in its entirety. And we ask that no other recording take place, as the league has a position that requires that a debate not be edited. It should be shown in its entirety. And that we apply to all the voter services events. In this case, each candidate will be given 4 minutes to speak at the podium. I will call them from the side. Our lovely timers will show a sign when there's 1 minute remaining and another sign when there's 30 seconds remaining, and then a stop to show that the time has elapsed. so that you know. One of our candidates, Jennifer Brumbach, is in the first group. There has been an emergency at the school which she teaches. She may be able to join us later in the event, but for the time being, we're going to proceed without her, although she had every intention to come, and that happens at schools, doesn't it? Okay, so, well, I will be seated and call your candidates up, and you'll be hearing from them 4 minutes at a time. I'll try to clarify each time for what position they're running. So, the first group of candidates are running for a 2-year position for the school board. You vote for 2 out of the 3 candidates. I'm asking John McDowell, the first candidate, to speak right now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John McDowell. Thank you so much for coming out this evening. What a great event. Thank you for the League of Women Voters for putting on this. It's sort of a privilege to be speaking on the Wildy stage tonight. I'm going to speak a little bit about my background and why I would add value to the Edwardsville School Board. My wife, Carla, and I are both born and raised in Edwardsville, graduated from Edwardsville High School. We have a 2nd grade son at Nelson Elementary and a daughter who will be in kindergarten at Nelson next year. After high school, I went to Bradley University and received a degree in marketing. But when people ask me where I went to college, I will start off by saying SIU Edwardsville. I was lucky enough to get my MBA from there, and I'm very proud to how SIUE has evolved over the last 20 years. While I was working on my MBA, I worked at Boeing in finance, doing work such as contracts, cost estimating, and budgeting. But I felt a calling back to Edwardsville to work and to give back. So for the last 12 years, I've worked at the Bank of Edwardsville as a home lender, and it's been very rewarding to work for a company that gives back as much as it does. I'll bring many strengths to the school board, but the one that differentiates me, I feel, is my unwavered passion for our community. For our school district, I'm a member of the Citizens Advisory Committee. I'm PTO Treasurer for Nelson Elementary. I'm a member of the Edwardsville Rotary, and so I'm one of the race directors for the Criterium every summer. And for the city, I'm on the Land Use Committee and the Plan Commission. Needless to say, giving back to my community fills my soul. I also understand that in order to have vibrant communities, we have to have excellent teachers and excellent schools. And once you hit that level of excellence, you cannot stop there. You have to sustain what works and keep raising the bar higher and higher to achieve new levels of success, which creates a new culture, better culture in your community. I'd like to work with the school board to add new things to our district, such as career and technical education. This is what we grew up with as vocational training, but it's so much more than that now. It is carpentry, it is electrical work, it is plumbing, but it's also computer programming, healthcare, and culinary. We live in an amazing group of communities, and we have an excellent school district. And I have a vision to have greater success, not only for this generation of students, like my children, but for future generations to come. And I'd like for all of you to join me to help make that vision a reality. My name's John McDowell. I hope I get your support on April 2nd. Thank you very much.
Jennifer Brumbach is in this group of candidates. She may be able to be with us later. I'm introducing at this point Nikisha Williams Omatola, the 3rd candidate for the 2-year position.
Good evening. My name is Nikisha Williams Omatola, and I'm a current District 7 school board member. I was appointed to the Board of Education in July, and since then, I have been learning, listening, and leaning into this position. And I am just getting started. I am a mother of 2 District 7 elementary school students. My daughters are in 3rd and 5th grades at Woodland Elementary, so I am personally invested in the success of our school district. I am passionate about education and committed to providing our children with the best education possible. I have a bachelor's degree in journalism from the University of Missouri, Columbia, and a master's of business administration from Washington University in St. Louis. I have more than 20 years of experience in marketing and public relations. I was previously a senior marketing manager at 20th Century Fox and the deputy director of marketing for the city of New Orleans. My educational background and work experiences have helped me to develop leadership, communication, and financial management expertise that will greatly benefit the Board of Education. I am a Glen Carbon resident, and my family and I love our community. I have served our community through involvement in Goshen and Woodland Elementary PTOs, Girl Scouts of Southern Illinois, the Friends of the Wildey Theater Board, and the Madison County Child Advocacy Center Friends Board. My goals for District 7 include being a good steward of taxpayer dollars, expanding technology and leading the charge for one-to-one devices, building strategic partnerships with local businesses and colleges, creating opportunities for career and technical education, and supporting professional development for our teachers. I believe in open, honest communication with all stakeholders, meeting the needs of all children in our school district, and collaborating with board members and the superintendent to make decisions that are in the best interest of all students. I have been on the school board for 7 months, and I would like to continue working to bring my goals to fruition. We have a great school district, but I believe we can be even better. I promise to continue to work on behalf of children and families in our community. I am moving District 7 forward and humbly asking for your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to reiterate, for that 2-year position, John McDowell, Jennifer Brumback, Nikisha Williams Omatola are running, and you're to vote for 2. Next, there's a candidate for the 4-year position who is running unopposed, and that is Deborah Pitts.
You notice Nikisha or John, they didn't have to put on glasses. So, you know I'm telling age, am I correct? Good evening. Greetings to the League of Women Voters, the Wildey Theater for allowing us to be here, and our special guest, you. I guess you're asking, why would someone run for the school board? I'd just like to share with you why I am running. And there are 3 P's. I have pride in the community of Edwardsville. I moved here at age 18 when I started school at SIUE from Chicago, Illinois. I am currently 66 and have made Edwardsville my home. I have pride in the community. I have a purpose for running for school board, and my main purpose is to assist in making a good school district a great school district. When I think about our Board of Education, I think about a puzzle with 7 pieces, and that represents the 7 members. We each come to the board with our own special expertise. Mine just happened to be 39 years spent in education. We have communication, as you've heard. We have business, we have finance, we have people who are retired. We have people in all fields. But until all the 7 of us connect, then we can't carry out the business of the school district. My passion, if anyone didn't know, or those of who know me know that my passion is educating young adults, not just with academics. Academics is number 1 because I look at students, and when I speak to them, I always say you should become a scholar athlete. I love sports. Those of you who know me know that I love sports. I'm truly a sports fanatic. However, academics is first, and that's my passion. Social emotional side, as well as the extracurricular side, I have a passion for with kids. I'm looking out in the audience, and I think I see a cheerleader back in the day when I was a cheerleader coach. So you know I'm getting old. I've been retired since 2014. And I'm looking out, and I say, that looks like her. That is her. Wave your hand. Okay. Okay. So, again, my name is Deborah Pitts, and I'm running for District 7 School Board, and I would appreciate your support. I've currently served on the school board for the past 2 years. I am a strong youth advocate interested in our children's academic, social, and emotional development. I am warm-hearted, conscientious, and committed to excellence, and I feel that I'm a team player. And those of you who know me on the board know that I speak exactly what I feel, and I let you know, and I move on without holding any grudges. I earned my general administrative certification, my master's degree, and my bachelor's degree from Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville. Like I said, I came here in 1971. Patty, was that before you were born? Okay. As a veteran educator, I've had the pleasure of serving the Alton School District for 31 years and 8 years as principal of Civic Memorial High School. In my experiences as an educator, I have also served as an assistant principal, dean of students, guidance counselor, special ed teacher. I have coached volleyball, basketball, track, cheerleading, and POMS, and I have held teaching positions at East Middle School, Central Junior High, and Alton High School. In addition, I have served on a negotiating, oh, I'm done. Okay, so thank you very much. I'm a member of Mount Joy Church, and I'll just talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I was tempted to ask for a quick cheer, but I've already turned someone down who wanted to dance up here, so we can't have that. All right. There now for a 4-year position, you're to vote for 2 of 3 candidates. I'm introducing first from that group, Jill Bertels.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this forum, and I would like to explain to the residents of the district my campaign slogan of my drive, my dedication, and my commitment to our students, our staff, and the taxpayers of our District 7. My husband, myself, and our 3 sons are all alumni, so we have lived here all of our lives. I've got 3 granddaughters that attend our District 7 schools, and I've got 2 other grandchildren that have not gotten to that age yet, but they are living in the Edwardsville district as well. We farm a 200-acre grain operation that is based out of Dorsey, and I also have a small business. We have a greenhouse that we sell plants out of in the spring. So that's the little bit about myself as far as a person, but I'd like to explain about some of the things we've done during my tenure on the board. I've been on the board for several years. I've been on several different committees, some as a member of the committee, some as the chairperson. I've served as the president, vice president, and secretary of the board, and we have all been able to enjoy the outstanding academic opportunities that we've offered our students in the classroom, as well as the fine arts and the athletic programs, the extracurricular activities, and including the FFA chapter, which I am personally involved in the alumni. So our district has gotten put on a path of financial stability with the passing of Prop E. It took a lot of effort from a lot of teachers, staff members, and community citizens to make this passage a success. So one of my goals as being a board member is to complete the promises that we proposed during our Prop E plan. We started our regular 4-year curriculum cycle. We've done our math curriculum, and we've activated that this past school year. We're going to activate the science curriculum this coming year, and then the rest of the studies will be completed over the next 2-year period, and then we'll return on that cycle again. And we have worked on our technology plan as a district. Keep updating that, and it's becoming a reality for our students. And the safety of our staff and our students, those programs are getting upgraded, and they are being reviewed every year so we can do our best to keep our students and our staff safe. The one thing that we've done with this property is we've gotten to balance our budget, and we will soon be able to start saving our cash reserves. So those are the things that Prop E had promised the public, and we are doing that as being good stewards of our money, of your money. With us being farmers, I've got the agricultural interest in mind, and I see the as important of the VOTEC education classes. For financial reasons, we had to take those away from the district, so our students weren't able to partake in those classes. But we're hoping that now that we're getting on that financial stability, that we will be able to look at those things and see if we can maybe offer some of those classes in the future. We've also upgraded our website and gotten our classes, the children, the opportunities that they need with upgrading our buildings and doing lots of exciting things, letting the teachers take their opportunities and expand the horizons for our students. We recently hired a superintendent, as probably I hope most of you have read in the paper, and I'm excited to work with him and trying to work that transition in so we can become a more dynamic and stronger school district. So I would like to again reiterate that we would like to turn the district around the corner from this financial stability and be able to make it a stronger district for all of our students. So thank you.
Thank you. The second candidate from that group of three is Catherine Robertson.
I sound like I'm in trouble. I go by Katie, so if you see my signs around town, Katie is my preferred name. Catherine, I still get out of my parents if I make a mistake, though. Like she said, I'm running for a 4-year term out-of-township, so that's a little bit how we're classified. My name is Katie Robertson, and I'm going to talk a little bit differently than the other candidates, more about why do I have this passion, because I get that question a lot. Growing up, I can remember a framed piece of paper that hung above my dad's workbench, and it said, "Knowledge is best when shared." My dad was a public high school teacher. My mom is a professor at SIUE for 40 years, and from kindergarten to my MBA, I'm a product of public education. I'm currently a faculty member in the SIUE School of Business, and I see every day the impact that education has on a community. To say that education is a core value in my family is putting it lightly. It's an expectation, it's an understanding. I'm an alumna of District 7. I have 2 students currently enrolled, and I have 1 on the way in August. I won't cry yet. Wait till August. But people ask me all the time, why are you running for the board? You have 3 young kids, you are a full-time faculty member, what are you thinking? And it makes me think about that piece of paper that hung over my dad's workbench, and I'm pretty sure is still there, that says knowledge is best when it's shared. The school board is designed to participate in shared governance. The idea that we, as school board members, are elected to represent the community we serve, their tax dollars, their ideas, their children. It is not a responsibility I take lightly. And quite frankly, when people ask why I'm running, it's really hard for me to narrow it down to one thing. But the idea of sharing knowledge, of bringing something to the table that maybe I could do differently, or spending time with 6 people that we could come up with new solutions or think of new ways to face the district's problems, is something I'm really excited about. I said I was an alumna of District 7, and prior to coming here, I was at a school district in Missouri. But I remember the very first day that I walked into LeClaire Elementary School. It was a very cold January day in 1990, and I walked my 10-year-old self into Mrs. Shrum's 5th grade classroom. And it was on that very day that I realized District 7 was different. it was different that they held their students to very high standards, but not just academically. There was this expectation that we treated each other with respect, that we looked out for each other's emotions. And I've been fortunate enough to see that play true in my children still. The way we maintain the excellence that we have seen to this point is to take what we have and to grow it, to make it better, and to shore it up with all kinds of unique ideas and partnerships. I'm not naive, and I understand the financial position the state has placed our district in. I was the co-chair of the Prop B committee, and to be honest, struggled with asking taxpayers for more dollars to shore up our schools. But at the end of the day, it was ultimately the right thing to do. By serving on the board, I can ensure that the promises made to the community during my work on Prop B will continue to be met. District 7 is the calling card of our community, as one of my favorite local citizens often says. We are as good as our school district. We are as good as the way we treat all children. Our children deserve the best, and everyone can agree on that, no matter our differences. I'm asking for your vote, and a vote for me is a vote for community engagement, communication, creativity, and solutions. Thank you.
The third candidate in that group, Eric Levan.
So good evening. Thank you for inviting me here. I only have 4 minutes. I see my mother-in-law out in the audience, and she would tell me to get on with it, so I will. First of all, a little bit about me. As I said, my name is Eric Levan, and I'm a 24-year resident of Edwardsville. My wife and 2 children both went K through 12 here. So I have an appreciation for what this means to the community. I understand the position it holds. And as for me, I'm now a retired Boeing business guy and focusing more time on giving back to the community. So I'm on the board of advisors for SIUE and SEMO for the business schools. I volunteer 1 day a week out at SIU helping students transition out of school and into their professional careers. I also serve on the Watershed Nature Preserve board. So I understand the commitment to the community, and I hope to bring that same commitment to the District 7 school board. District 7 is and by the way, what you'll find is I'm a business guy. You scratch me a little bit, you find a business guy underneath. So I understand the District 7 is a large organization. 1,000 employees, $85 million a year annual budget, 7,400 students, buildings, facilities, etc. And it's really a system of things. And you have to deal with it as a system, something I believe that my Boeing experience could bring to bear on the matter. You know, you can't fix one thing without impacting another. And again, I hope to bring that systems thinking to District 7. Within this system, there are 3 things that are really important to me: community engagement, skilled trades, and finances. First, community engagement. There are many stakeholders in the district: parents, teachers, businesses, property owners, and they all have a desire out of the district: good education, safe environment, good property values, a vibrant community that goes with all that. And they all need a place at the table. In my experience, what I've found is it's best to be inclusive and collaborative in bringing all the district stakeholders together, give them a place at the table, hear them, and respect what they have to say. That's what I found to be successful in my career. I hope to bring that same mindset to Boeing, or to District 7. I left Boeing. Gone. The other thing is skilled trades, or the second thing is skilled trades. I'm a strong believer in the value of skilled trades. As was mentioned a few years ago, this got reduced quite a bit. I think based on talking with local businesses, local residences, or residents, as well as other regional educators, we need a path to bring this back. Skilled trades provide good, viable careers, a path to business ownership, and I think it's going to take partnerships with those other organizations to bring it back, but we need to start on that journey. I hope to bring that to District 7. And third is finances. As I said, you scratch me a little bit, you find a business guy underneath. For the last 10 years of my career, I was a divisional CFO at Boeing, so I understand large, complex budgets. I've sat down with the District 7 CFO, Make no mistake, this $85 million budget is large and complex. I felt right at home. I hope to bring the skills that I had from Boeing to here to help provide additional oversight. We're in much better shape because of Prop E, but we still have a long way to go. I think the skills that I have would aid in that endeavor. So there you have it. You know a little bit about me, what's important to me, and I hope on April 2nd you'll vote for me. Thank you.
Thanks to all our candidates for the school board. I hope I'm not getting too boring, but I just want to clarify that of the first 3 candidates, John McDole, Jennifer Brumback, and Nikisha Williams-Omatola, you're to vote for 2 for a 2-year position. Then Deborah Pitts is running unopposed for a 4-year position. And then of the second group of 3, Jill Bertels, Katie Robertson, and Eric Levin, that's vote for 2 for a 4-year position. Let's take 10 minutes break and then come back for the alderman. By any chance did Jennifer Brumback come in this period of time? She still may be able to speak to you, but as I say, she had an emergency, and so we may have some people out of order this evening. Let's take 10 minutes and then we'll have another presentation, series of presentations. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I think we've passed out there a list of candidates so that you would have the candidates. I've been reading their names, and you'll have a list. I think it's been passed out now. We are going to take the alderman contests in the wrong order because, again, we're waiting for a candidate who's late for a very good reason. And on that subject, Jennifer Brumback is here, who is one of the school board candidates in that first group of 3 people running for a 2-year position. So I'd like to introduce her and let her come to the podium.
Good evening. I promise I brought a note from my parent. I'm sorry about the tardy. No, in all honesty, I did have a very good reason for being late this afternoon or this evening, so I do thank you for your patience with me. My name is Jennifer Brumback. I am an educator. That's what kept me this evening. And I'm also a mother of 2 graduates of Edwardsville High School. I have a son that's a sophomore in college who is at Columbia College studying art, and then my daughter is a first-year college student here at Lewis and Clark for this year, but will be going to Quincy next year. Education has been part of my life since kindergarten. I honestly walked out of high school into college and from college into a classroom as a teacher. And I spent 26 years as an educator, both middle school and high school math teacher. And in the last 5 or 6 years, I've been an administrator. And with that experience, I've been involved with curriculum development, school improvement, CTE programming, special education, and also technology. So those are kind of the big things that I'm involved with at work. You know, as educators, we always want to know, what is your why? Why do you do it? Why do you work with students? Why do you want to be a part of education? And for me, it all is rooted in how I was raised. I was raised in community service. My husband was active duty military for 20 years. My father was in the military. So when I said, hey, Dad, I found a guy who's in the Air Force, he said, score, you know, go for that. But being a teacher and being a military wife, that kind of went hand in hand. Everywhere we went, I had some wonderful experiences. You know, a lot of people look at leaving home as a bad thing, but it was actually a great opportunity to develop a skill set that I would not have been able to develop at home. I'm also very, very passionate about an innovative education for students. I believe in fiscal and educational integrity. Those are my whys. You know, why I am asking to be a board member and sit on a seat for the board. I need to make sure that we're doing right by our current and future community, and that future community includes our students today. We have a lot to celebrate in Edwardsville. All 13 of our schools have been rated commendable by the state. That is a huge achievement. And we also are outscoring many, definitely above state average within the state. And we have wonderful opportunities for students for extracurricular activities, but I do have some concerns. I'm concerned that we're not meeting all students. And when I say all students, I'm talking about students who have the greatest need to those who may appear to fall through the cracks. Those are students who need hands-on activities. They're students who don't have the 4.0 GPA and don't have some serious issues with or needs for special education. I believe that we have to have a one-to-one technology program. Thankfully, I work in a district that is one-to-one, and so I know the strengths and the challenges of having a program like that. I also recognize that with our funding issues that we have here in the city, that we need to look at other sources. We need to look at grants. We need to look at those partners out in the community who can help us fund these special programs that we have. It's really important to me that all students are supported so that they can explore their gifts, talents, and passions, and I hope that you will support me as a member of the school board in that venture. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that helped me to recall that some of the candidates have come since I explained the timing. Our lovely timers are here, and you did seem to understand. Each candidate has 4 minutes to speak, and we'll put up a sign when you have 1 minute remaining, and another sign when there's 30 seconds remaining, and then there's a stop sign. We give you a few beats before I come up and grab the mic from you. So just finish up when you see that stop sign. That's fine. I'm going to, at this point, completely do the opposite of what I just said I was going to do, and I will take the city council candidates in the order that they are written, because that's most simple, and all our candidates have arrived. So I think I will begin. These are the city council alderman positions for the city of Edwardsville. The first contest is Ward 1, and Christopher Farrar is our first candidate.
Good evening. My name is Chris Farrar. Currently, you hear me okay? Is that right? All right. So my name is Chris Farrar. I'm Ward 1 alderman at the moment, soon to be hopefully reelected. I want to thank the League of Women Voters for putting this on and inviting me. Thank you. I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about myself, what we've been doing on council, and then maybe my philosophy about what I think city government should be doing for our citizens. So first off, moved here around 2002 with my wife and 4 children. Our children are all very young at the time. Our oldest actually went to kindergarten that year. So we've had all 4 go through the school system here, which we're very pleased with the school system, and we've always been supporters of the school system. And well, almost all 4. I mean, my twins are seniors, so hopefully they'll be getting through this year and being done, but they have a lot of senioritis going on, so that's another story at home. I moved from back east. I grew up in the Boston area. Met my wife. We went to the same college together, but we didn't really know each other that well. But we met after college, and so we lived in Boston for a little bit, then in the area, and then we went to. I'm a physician. As you can tell, I'm not a public speaker, so I apologize for that. But we met when I was in medical school. We got married. We had then medical school and residency. We had our children. and we moved here in 2002. I currently work at Anderson Hospital as a physician there. So moving on, Barb Stammer was our alderwoman. She had to step down, so I've always been interested in being involved in the city, and so I approached the mayor and asked, if to be nominated, and he interviewed I think 6 or 7 candidates, and I was elected or nominated at that point to fill her remaining time on the board or on the council. So what we've been doing in the city council is, I think we've been doing some great things, really have been moving toward more of a greener Edwardsville. We've been trying to preserve land that I think for future generations. I think the Bohm Woods is a good example of that. We're going to hopefully, over the years, begin to restore that, and I think that's going to be a great walking kind of natural habitat for years to come. So for my kids and their kids, if they ever move back to this area, if they move to this area, live in this area, that they will enjoy that immensely. And then we also have recreational parks that we've been really kind of encouraging or developing, with the Plummer Park, and not just developing new ones, but also we've just last night we were talking about developing a huge overall park plan to help develop and continue to refine and update the existing parks right now. So a few other things, with development that's really been kind of a give and a take, obviously in a city or any type of community. You want development, you need property taxes and all that stuff, but there's always the downside of too much development, too much congestion, and I think I'm going to stop there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. So the challenger for Ward 1 Alderman for the City Council is Robert Turner.
Make sure I get that in the right spot. Excuse me. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Audience participation is great. My name is Robert Turner, and I'm going for alderman for Ward 1. I've lived there for about 15 years, been an Edwardsville, Glen Carbon resident for almost 32. My wife, Angela, she's back in the back. Hey. Been married for about 12 years. We have 4 kids. 2 have graduated high school. We have 2 kids. One is in LeClaire Elementary School right now, and the other one goes to Trinity, which is in our neighborhood as well. Some background on me from where I come from. I worked at LRE Automotive. Anybody heard of the place? Yeah. About 18 years almost. Maybe did I do a good job on your car, hopefully? Okay, good job. So I worked there for about 17, 18 years, and then I decided I wanted to give back to my trade, my skilled trade. So I went and got a job working at Rankin Technical College, worked there for 3 years, and then from there I got a job at St. Charles High School doing the same thing, teaching career technical education. That's what CTE. Sometimes you hear people talk, like teachers talk, they use a lot of lingo and jargon other people don't understand. CTE's career technical education. So that's where I'm currently at right now. I really enjoy it. It's very rewarding getting to see these kids grow and become young men and young women and then move on and support my trade. I'm a member of St. John's United Methodist Church, where I am the head of trustees. I'm actively participating in the Boy Scout troop from that church as well. My son was an Eagle Scout from there, and my my 5-year-old, Jacob, he is a Lion at Eden Church, right across the street over there. So I'm actively in Scouts. And so I'm devoted to my family, my church, and my community, which is why I chose to run for alderman for my ward. I feel I can make a positive change into my community, and this is the way I choose to do it. I've worked with my hands all my life, and I take that approach in getting things done. I prefer to meet people face to face, working with people instead of doing text messages and emails, which is okay communication, but one-on-one, this is probably a bigger crowd than I'm normally used to talking to. That's okay. I think my experience will bring a dynamic to the current aldermanic board currently in place because of my background and my experience that I've had working on cars and actually doing some minor construction myself. I have a different approach or a way of looking at things that is a direct result of my background in automotive repair. Some things that I'd like to see improve are some of the infrastructure in our area. Ward 1 is one of the oldest areas in the district, and there's a lot of streets and sewers and water lines that need to be repaired, as well as sidewalks where there's some places that don't. It's already 60 minutes? Ooh. That goes fast. Also, I'd like to keep our parks up to date. That's something that my family's passionate about. We like to go visit the parks, especially when Touch a Truck comes to town. And also, I'd like to improve some sidewalks and things in our area that are starting to be dilapidated and need to be improved. Last of all, I want to thank all of you for coming out, showing interest in your community. I want to thank the League of Women Voters for calling me up or sending me a message saying, hey, come visit this and give us your input. And please think of me as, or voting for me for Ward 1 Alderman. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next ward is Ward 5, and we have two candidates from Ward 5. I'm going to ask Will Kraus to present himself to the group.
Thank you, Rachel. Can everyone hear me okay? Good deal. Thank you all for attending tonight, for being out here in the historic Wildey Theater. My name is Will Kraus, and I am the current alderman for Edwardsville's 5th Ward. Edwardsville is my adopted hometown. Like many other young people, I came here for the university, and quite frankly, my wife and I fell in love with this community. At SIUE, I received my bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in business administration, and following that, I went and pursued a master's degree at St. Louis University in urban planning and real estate development. For the past 10 years, I've owned my own small business where I'm involved with property management and real estate investment. And as I said, I also met my loving wife, Liz, here in Edwardsville at SIUE. We're SIUE sweethearts, and we've been happily married for the past 10 years, and we live in the LeClaire area of Ward 5. Edwardsville has really shaped the foundation of my life. It has come to make me who I am today, and I've always wanted to give back to the community. And even before I was in elected office, I've been out volunteering, whether that was with Friends of LeClaire, cleaning out muck from LeClaire Lake, or planting trees in our parks around the community. Some of you might even know me as the trolley guide from basically every trolley in town that has a narrated history dude on it. That's me. But I'm seeking re-election to expand upon the success that we've experienced in Ward 5 over the last 4 years. And I've built the campaign from the feedback that I've received from my constituents, from my friends, and from the residents of the ward. And that, what I heard loud and clear was the 3 R's, and that was roads, recreation, and reinvestment. Particularly when it comes to the city investing in the older portions of our community, the established neighborhoods, I believe if we make the investment there, the residents of those neighborhoods return that investment tenfold. It shows a sign of good faith that we're committed to ensuring that no portion of our community is left behind with aging infrastructure. In the past 4 years, I brought over $2.1 million of direct investment to Ward 5, and we've been able to use that funding to resurface Springer Sheridan, to improve Franklin Avenue, and if you drove down Troy Road this past summer, it might have been a little inconvenient, but it was a long overdue project. And when it comes to keeping promises, the city promised the residents of LeClaire that Hale Avenue would have been done 20 years ago. But this May, that promise comes true, and we're putting $1.1 million into a total reconstruction of that road. We can do more, and I've heard loud and clear from individuals like Peg out on East Lake Drive that the third phase of East Lake Drive needs to be completed. That was a promise the city made 10 years ago, and I plan on championing that in the next 4 years. And I've heard of the deterioration on Holyoke Road, and I plan on championing that project as well, or the water issues they're experiencing on Chapman. We have a lot of projects that need to be done. I've also heard loud and clear of green space and the preservation of our green space. We need to expand upon the Dirta Woods for more hiking and biking trails throughout the community. We can do that by applying for more state and federal grants to give everyone the opportunity for outdoor recreation and play, whether that's active or passive. And lastly, to continue to invest in our downtown and ensure that if the city is to give out incentives to businesses, those incentives go to small and Main Street businesses. Big business can pay for itself. Strict oversight needs to happen with TIF and business improvement districts when they're implemented in our community. Lastly, we can accomplish all of this without raising your property taxes. We've accomplished it over the course of the last 4 years while I've been on council without raising your property taxes. Every year, the property tax portion has gone down, and I plan on maintaining that. In a local election, every vote matters, and I humbly ask for your support at the April 2nd election to re-elect Will Kraus for Alderman of Ward 5. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And the challenger, Ward 5 Alderman Brent Daniels.
Good evening, everybody. I thank you for making it out tonight. I know your time is very valuable. I won't take much of it, maybe 4 minutes or so. So I am running for Alderman for Ward 5. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I've had a great opportunity to go out and knock on some doors and talk to some folks in that neighborhood. And I've been in the neighborhood for about 4 years now, and I've learned quite a bit about it. So a little bit about myself. I am originally from Alton. I came here approximately 20 years ago, as most people, to go to college and fell in love with the town. So many great things about this town. There's a sense of community, a variety of options for all folks of all ages, close access to all the amenities in downtown St. Louis, and again, the great people here in this city. So after college, I spent most of my career in the banking and finance sector, worked for a variety of firms in a variety of roles, worked for Regions Bank, or formerly known as Union Planners, Wachovia Securities, Stifel Nicholas, and the last 8 years of my career with Morgan Stanley, working primarily on the fee-based side of the business, focusing on technology, program implementation, and business development. So with that experience, you know, it's one of those things where it's important to build relationships and maintain those relationships. I think that I can take that and provide that in this role as alderman. So in the last 10 years, I've maintained my residency here in Edwardsville, living all over town, and I've always wanted to live in LeClaire. I thought it was a great neighborhood. It's a welcoming neighborhood. I love the fact that on an afternoon you can, a nice afternoon, you see people fishing in the lake or sitting on the park benches and just taking it all in, walking dogs, people, babies in strollers, people jogging. Why would you not want to live there? That's why I chose LeClaire and why I wanted to live there. So after spending 10 plus years on the road, and most of those years traveling in excess of 45 weeks a year, it was time to come home. I wanted to come home, and I wanted to make a difference in my community and start giving back. And as most of us that have spoke tonight, I firmly believe that we all want to leave this community and this neighborhood, these neighborhoods in a better place than where we found them. So I look for a few things going forward if elected in this position. I just want to look for more fiscal responsibility. You know, the common theme that I've gotten from talking to folks, and it's the taxes. Everybody talks about every time we turn around, we're getting taxed on this and taxed on that. Taxes are being raised. And I translate that, and I wanted to make our neighborhood that we live in affordable to live there. Look at some common sense solutions, if you will. And speaking to those folks that I've talked to, they see these taxes. They don't understand where they're coming from. So I think from that role, we need to have a better communication to the community. I think we need to reach out to our community for more input in the decisions that we make. One thing that really stuck out with me in the last couple of weeks while talking to folks, I had a really nice lady tell me that she's like, I am tired of being taxed, and I am one tax hike from selling my little home in LeClaire and moving out of Edwardsville. I don't want that to happen to her. I don't want that to happen to any of us. It's a great neighborhood. It's a great town to grow up and have a family and do the best that we can to leave it better than what we found it. So I ask for your consideration on April the 2nd for your votes. I thank everyone for their time and all the people that put in the hard work to put this event together tonight. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Now, for Ward 7, Art Risvy is running. He is unopposed.
Good evening. I would like to start by thanking the League of Women Voters for the opportunity to speak this evening, and I'll start by telling you a little bit about myself. My wife's name is Rhonda, who is an HR professional. My son's name is AJ Risvy. He's at South Warren College at Lincoln Memorial University in Tennessee, where he studies business, and he also plays volleyball on a scholarship. My work background is in business. My family has a business called Swing City Music. We've been open for over 50 years. We have locations in Edwardsville and Collinsville. We sell all types of musical instruments. We install sound systems mainly at schools and churches. We also rent band instruments, and we have a string rental program where we rent violins, cellos, and violas. I also have a background prior in banking. When I graduated from Boston University, I worked for Magna Bank, which then went to Union Planters Bank, which now is Regions Bank. I was a division manager there for 5 years. As alderman, I'm seeking a third term in Ward 7. Ward 7, I think, is considered the newer area of Edwardsville, even though I've lived there for over 20 years. It's mainly the areas along Goshen and Gerber Road. I represent neighborhoods like Southcrest, Goshen Meadows, Ebbets, Vicksburg, Gettysburg, Bennington, Carrington, and many, many more. I've served as chairman of the Finance Committee, and I'm also the current chairman of the Administrative and Community Service Committee, and I've served on several other committees as well. As alderman, many of you probably heard tonight, we're a group of 7 with a mayor who has a vision for our job as aldermen is to look out for all the areas of the cities and cast our vote with the best interest of Edwardsville in mind. I've had the honor of serving under 2 great mayors, Mayor Niebuhr and Mayor Patton, and many committed and dedicated department heads, city employees, and volunteers. While I've been alderman, we've accomplished many things. The list is long, but I thought I could just go through a few tonight. We have the new Ironworks location, which is a retail space. We're going to see some new businesses such as Sugar Fire, Chicken Solid Chicks, Strange Donuts, and Global Brew. We also have the Reserve, which is going to be a 486-bedroom student housing unit, which is on New Pogue Road. We also will have the future Gorey Julian headquarters in our downtown area. It's going to be a 5-story building. We have the Whispering Heights location, which is on 157, which will be 153 apartments and retail. In addition to that, we have Plummer Family Park, which will focus on softball, baseball, soccer, pickleball, and field hockey. Also have walking trails. And we have Town Center, which is the former Madison County Mutual Building, which will also be retail and apartments. There's been many other things that we've completed that I'm proud of. Joe Glick Park, the final phase, or an additional phase, continued improvements at the Wildey. The Leon Corlew Park, the water park. We also have the new public safety facility building, and we have a second fire station at SLP. And we have many street and road improvements, too many to discuss. A couple that come to mind is Troy Road and St. Louis Street, and numerous residential neighborhoods in my 8 years as alderman. Although I'd like to take credit for all of them. The reality is, as aldermen, we work together with one goal, which is the betterment of the city of Edwardsville for the citizens. We work with our mayor, our very committed department heads, and all of our city employees, and we work with peers, and mainly our citizens. Our goal is and should always be to improve our community for future generations. In closing, I would like to thank everybody tonight. But I'd like to just say that the big projects are not always the most important. As aldermen, we work on small projects like sidewalks, lights that are out, fencing issues. Sometimes those small projects are the most important to you, the citizen. So thank you for the time. Please consider supporting me. I'm running unopposed, but I think it's important to get out and communicate to our citizens And please consider me for Ward 7 for a third term. Art Rizvi, thank you. And I'm the one who said I wanted to dance on the floor, so that was me.
The hook. He's getting the hook, folks. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. I appreciate. We have one more event, and I think rather than taking a long break, I'm going to ask the two candidates for Hamel President to come up and have a seat, and I'll present you in just a few moments. Thank you. So we have one final contest that we're presenting this evening. There's a contest for Hamel President, and there are two candidates. I'm going to ask the first candidate. I usually, Larry Bluntford, you're currently holding the position. I'm going to ask Larry Bluntford to begin. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Larry Blemker, and I currently serve as the mayor of Hamel. I am a graduate of District 7. I'm also a graduate of Illinois State University. I have a bachelor's degree in journalism. In December, I received the Chancellor's Certificate for Municipal Planning and Zoning from UMSL. I currently serve as the chair for Madison County Community Service Block Grant Advisory Board, and I'm on the executive board for the Route 66 Byway Authority. I started my time in public service as a trustee. I think it's invaluable to have that experience. It taught me both the how and the why of government and showed me what was important with residents. When I became the mayor in 2011, we were still feeling the after effects of the Great Recession in Hamel. We had multiple foreclosures. We probably had a record number of homes for sale. We had finished at a deficit in 2009, which had never happened. In 2010, we barely broke even. We had stormwater issues that had started to affect property values in reality. And we were involved in a pair of lawsuits that wound up costing the village tens of thousands of dollars. Today, Hamel is one of the, if not the fastest growing small community in Madison County. We've built 25 new homes in 2018, 17 and 18. So far in 2019, we have 4 new homes under construction. We project to have double digits again this year. During my tenure, sales tax revenue has increased by 70%. We have a number of new businesses, and we've also developed a commercial district at I-55 and 140 at the 30-mile marker. Sales tax revenue is extremely important in the village of Hamel because we do not levy a general property tax. It's been that way for many years, and the board that I serve on accepts that responsibility to try and maintain that. You know, growth represents its own challenges for us. We project our population to increase by approximately 25% between the 2010 and the 2020 census. I would like to work on a new comprehensive plan. It's time to do that and bring the residents and planning professionals together and help us build the Hamel for the future. I believe in that enough to have gotten the Chancellor's Certificate from UMSL. That's why I did that. I want to put a new emphasis on sidewalks, on parks and green space. We've just got done with 8 years of public improvements for stormwater. It was very successful. We need a new challenge. Residents have let us know that this is important to them, and I am ready to lead that. I'm proposing a new contractor code of conduct. With all the new building we've had too many issues with job site incidents, and it's impacting quality of life for residents who live in our area. Finally, let me say that the village of Hamel has a proud past and a bright future, and I'm asking our residents to give me the opportunity to continue to serve them. With all the District 7 board members that were here this evening, it's my responsibility to share something that I've heard over and over again from the residents of the village of Hamel. I want you to know that there are careers in the trades and in manufacturing that can provide good income for the residents in our area. That not every success story for a student has to be a graduate or a postgraduate degree. That this district has the capacity and the responsibility to serve all students. And with a new board and a new superintendent, we need to find a new commitment for vocational education in District 7. And I want to thank the League of Women Voters very much for including the village of Hamel here this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, Devin Bushrow is the challenger for this position.
Good evening. First, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for hosting this forum and everyone in attendance who has taken the time to hear from all the candidates tonight. It's a real privilege to be in front of you. To give you some insight on who I am, my name is Devin Bushrow, and I'm running for the office of president in Hamel, Illinois. I'm 31, I have 2 dogs, and I've been married to my beautiful wife, Jody, for 5 years, and we're expecting our first child in April. We bought our first home and moved into Hamel in February of 2013. Together, Jody and I have several family members who live, work, and are business owners in the immediate community. In October of 2015, I started the local JC chapter, and we've quickly grown to over 40 members. Since then, I have served on both the local board as trustee, as president, and as vice president on the Illinois State Region Board. If you're not familiar with the JCs, we are a non-for-profit leadership training and civic organization for people between the ages of 18 and 40. We focus on business development, management skills, individual development training, and community service. We believe in empowering young people to create a positive change, and with the help of small business owners and the citizens of Hamel, we've been able to raise over $30,000. The part I enjoy most about being a JC is giving back. We do community development projects, school supply drives, toy drives, donations to our local food pantry, and helping low-income families, to name a few. The training I received as a JC has helped me prepare for an appointed position in the Planning Commission, which is my current role in Town Council. In a survey conducted in 2014, the median age of a Hamel resident was 34. And as homes sell and more homes continue to be built, younger families are moving into our community. And as a governing body, we need to be receptive that our village demographic continues to trend younger. And I know on the other side of that, many of our seniors struggle with affordability and accessibility in all aspects of their daily life. As a town council, we must continue to incorporate both realities into all of our decision making. Hamel to me is more than just a refueling stop along the Route 66 and I-55 corridor. And as village president, some of my goals would include the continued investment in our infrastructure, identifying any concerns in public safety, enhancing our level of customer service, and most importantly, keeping an eye towards our economic development, opportunity, and our overall quality of life. I will strive to keep government efficient, transparent, and accessible to everyone. And obviously I can't do this by myself, and the role of president is limited, but I think with the participation from town council and voters keeping an open mind, we can build an understanding and mutual respect to achieve our long-term goals. I know we won't always agree on everything, and it's inevitable we will run into roadblocks. But if we keep a collaborative effort focused on finding solutions, we can most certainly find common ground to our shared problems. As a public servant in the community, we must keep the mindset that we serve the people, and in its purest form, all levels of government stay by the people and for the people. Together, we have a very exciting future ahead, and given the opportunity, I would be honored to receive your vote on April 2nd. Again, my name is Devin Bushrow, and I'm running for village president in Hamel, Illinois. Thank you.
Well, on behalf of the League of Women Voters, Edwardsville area, and the Edwardsville branch of the NAACP, as John said, he's a member of the League and I'm a member of the NAACP. We work together and we're proud to work together to present these voter services events. We're extremely pleased and very grateful to all the candidates for cooperating and presenting very informative evening. And as many candidates have mentioned, it's you people in the audience who are making this all work. Thank you. Stay informed. Also, tell people that they can watch this event on Edwardsville cable TV station 993, other people who have missed this, and have an opportunity to educate themselves before the April 2nd election. And thank you and good evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this League of Women Voters Edwardsville area voter services event. We are conducting this event in partnership with the Edwardsville branch of the NAACP. Oh, hi. Do you have something you wanted to say, John?
No, you're doing fine.
Okay. Thank you. The League of Women Voters is a national organization devoted to educating voters and encouraging voting. The NAACP, likewise, with a mandate to advance and promote the well-being of people of color, has a long history of the promotion of informed voting. So we agree and have the same mandate. Democracy requires an educated and involved electorate. We are affiliated with no political party or any candidate as an organization. Our members reflect a variety of personal political opinions, but we are mandated as an organization to provide fair and informed voter services events, and tonight is one. Tonight's event will be a meet and greet format for the village trustee position on Glen Carbon. There is one candidate on the ballot. There are 6 write-in candidates, and you are to vote for 3. We've passed around a list of the candidates to make it a slightly less confusing. So you'll be hearing from people in the order in which they're written on that list. One of our candidates did tell me he was coming, but is not here yet, so if he comes later, you might hear him out of order. I will introduce each candidate. This event is being videotaped tonight and will be televised on Edwardsville cable television station, channel 993. We ask that it not be in any other way videotaped because there is a league rule that these events are to be shown in their entirety. So it will be shown in its entirety. If there is a reason for some organization that doesn't have access to cable TV that you would like to have a copy of this, you can get in touch with John Cunningham at the City of Edwardsville. But it's to be shown in its entirety. Each candidate will have 4 minutes to speak. Candidates. Our lovely timers are there. You will have a sign when you have 1 minute remaining, a sign when you have 30 seconds remaining, and a sign when you are supposed to stop. After we give you a few minutes to wrap up, I come and give you the hook. So let's just pay attention to the signs, and they're kind of obvious when you're speaking, even if you're reading. I think we'll have an event that goes straight forward with no breaks. So let us begin. I would like to introduce the one candidate who will be on your ballot, who is Bob Marcus.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you. My name is Bob Marcus. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for the Edwardsville area for this opportunity to speak, and I want to say congratulations for putting on a wonderful event for the residents of the village. I have had the privilege of working as a trustee since 2017, and I'm proud to be part of a growing village while ensuring that the village is financially stable. And I do enjoy working for the residents and working with the great department heads we have at the village. I view my roles as trustee is to respond to the needs of the residents and to give the department heads the proper tools, the financial tools, personnel tools, support tools, so the great department heads can do great jobs, all of which has made and will make the village a safe and wonderful place to live. Just last month, Chief Link visited the village board and talked about the successful and how proud he was of the police department. As trustee, I was in favor and approved 2 new hires just last for the police department. I approved expenses for the K-9 program for the Glen Carbon Police Department in 2018, and I was in favor of resources and outlets necessary so the police department can perform extensive training for their officers. And all of this results in a safer village for the residents. As trustee and a member of the Finance Committee, I meet with the Finance Director, Scott Bohr, on a monthly basis and sometimes every other week. Since I've been a trustee, we've had a positive annual audit of the financial books of Glen Carbon. We set a reasonable budget and work hard to ensure Glen Carbon stays within its budget. As trustee, I was in favor of a conservative tax levy, which will hopefully result in the reduction of the village tax rate by almost 1%. As trustee in 2018, we hired Public Works Director Jennifer Duty. We'll be focusing on the implementation of a pavement management plan in 2019. We're going to work on the continued development of Schoen Park and Old Troy Road improvements. And I want to work hard to make sure Old Troy Road, the construction proceeds quickly, efficiently, and safely so the residents have that road in 2019 because it's needed. And that's why you should vote for me, to continue the great work that's been done to date. Glen Carbon is a safe community and one that my family and I are proud to call home. Goals going forward are the same: respond to the needs of the residents, invest and attract business and development, ensure the village is financially responsible with taxpayers' money. And I want to continue to be a trustee. As stated, I'm the only trustee listed on the ballot. In order to do that, I had to file the appropriate paperwork and obtain